Welcome back, listeners, to the Mindful Living podcast with your host, Sana. Now, today's episode is unique in its own way. I sat down with the vibrant and inspirational Matthew Lesko, and we dived into personal expression, embracing risks, and thriving amidst changes. Matthew, renowned for his signature flair and passion for helping others, as you will see in this conversation, shares life lessons from his remarkable journey of 81 years, encouraging all of us to follow our hearts and embrace uncertainty as a path to growth. So let's quickly dive deep into this conversation. Okay, so let's begin, Matthew. And that's a lovely sweater, I must say. Really pretty, really. And that's your signature. That's a USP.
Every day. I mean, I enjoy dressing like this very much, but what gives me pleasure is seeing people smile when they see this. I mean, I feel I have nothing better to do because I like dressing like this. And if that makes somebody happy, boy, I'll do this every day.
That's what.
I mean, it's amazing how people react, and simple things that we could help other people's lives is just amazing, and we never think about it. And see, this is me inside. I want to do this, and I never got encouragement to do this. Nobody was, go out and dress like a clown and you'll make $1 million. And nobody tells you to do that, but I did. It did happen that way. That's something I want to do, and that's, to me, it's all about living inside out. Yeah. So the more you could live inside out, and we're all different people, and we have to show our difference, not how we're like everybody else, because you're not them, you're you.
Exactly.
And you have something very special to give that's weird about you, and that's your gift. Whatever is weird. Other people think it's weird, but that's what you're born with, and the best thing you have to give to the rest of us. Everybody may not like it. Fine. Yeah, exactly.
And, you are free to have your opinions. You're free to judge, but to be honest, I don't care.
Right, exactly. It can't. And I think people, when we get advice growing up or from our family and everything, everybody wants you to do something safe, to not be hurt and things like that. And that's bad advice, I think. Because it's like telling a child, okay, if you're going to start to walk, you better not, because you're going to fall down. And if you tell the child not to do that because you're going to fall, you'll never learn to walk. So the same, if you're an adult, you have to do the same thing. Anything new you want to do in life, you're going to fail. You're going to fall down. And everybody's going to say, don't do that. You're going to fail. I mean, just say yes. I know. And don't argue with them, because they're right. But that's what life is. And if you're not ready to fall down, you're not ready to grow. And I think that's the only way you grow in life, is by trying something that's different, so you could figure it out. And you figure it out by falling down, like learning to walk. You figure that out. You fall down 100 times, and then you figure, oh, shit, that's the way I should do it. And so we have to keep doing that. And that's why loved ones, to me, are your enemy. Because they stop you from growing. They don't want you to grow. I mean, that's not their mission. Their mission is to protect you.
Intention. Yeah, they may say that to protect you or keep you away from that stuff. But sometimes we have to take those risks. It's a kind of
all the time. I mean, how else are you going to grow? You don't know what you are, and you only grow after you find out what you are. And that's her trial and error, because then you know the path that you can grow in. Until then, you're stumbling, and you have to keep stumbling until you find it. So if you love somebody, you have to help them do that. You know, don't tell them what's right or wrong about what they do. They analyze that already lots. They don't need your help on telling why this is hard to do, because it took them a long time to do it.
I totally agree with you because you know so you know uh, I get a lot of inspiration from my father. So, but you know, sometimes I do have, those kind of heated arguments with him that, all my life, all my childhood, you have always stopped me. Although, you wanted it to do from the intention of protecting me. But
Right.
I have grown up and I am, kind of capable of taking those decisions for myself, whether it's a career change or it's any personal life decision. When if I want to visit, if I wish to go outside somewhere and want to explore, why can't I do it? I should do it.
So you have to. And that's right for me. I don't know why. And I grew up in a family like that. We controlled each other. We want everybody to do what we want them to do, which to me, it's not love. That's not helping somebody in life. That's preventing. It's selfish for them to do that. But they don't realize that. They think it's something else, because they want them to be happy, not you. Who can really decide anyone's happiness? They can't even decide their own. Yeah. They don't even know how to make themselves happy. So now they're going to tell you how to be happy. What gives anybody the audacity to tell anybody else how to live their life when they're struggling like hell in their own life? They don't know what to do.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why love is helping you do whatever you want to do. And you do. That's what you need.
Great.
That's what we all need.
So, Matthew, I'm so previously I couldn't get that opportunity. So I'm very, very curious to ask, uh, how it all started for you. I know it's going to take a lot of time, but I would love to know. Our listeners would love to know how it all started for you.
I'm 81. So a lot of mileage in there. And there's things in life. The world changes is what happened. So in 81 years, man, there were no computers back when I started. I studied computers in college, and nobody knew anything about computers. This is back in the 70s, and I was teaching one course at one university and taking the same course at another university. So I'd keep my students 1 week behind what I was taking. There were no teachers for computer science, right? So you can't. I think the only thing you learn from the past is that stuff changes. Nothing worked in the past, and the problem will be good for the future. And that's the problem with living too long.
I understand that.
You, as a young person like you're trying to figure out how to get through the life and how to contribute much and how to make a living and all that kind of. You finally figure it out, and in 10 years they're going to change all the rules. All the game's going to change. So everything you learn won't work anymore. That's why I'd rather hang around somebody like you instead of somebody like me, because I know what used to work. And if something worked, like your father, something worked before, you want that to work, and it won't. But you're not handicapped with that success. Say someone older found out what worked for them, and then they think it should work for everybody else, for the rest of mankind or whatever. And we live in a different society. So you at your age, to me, is more important. I'd rather hook my star to you than to me or your father or anybody else, because all you're doing is looking forward. See? And where are the opportunities? What the world needs? Where do I fit in? You're looking for those holes to fill in society and to contribute and give as much as you can.
Mhm.
Us old people are trying to make something we found out what works 20, 30 years ago. That doesn't work anymore. You can't. So that's a burden because we're trying to find out, how do I fit this into the new world? And
Mm.
the new world. That's why it's new. You are not burdened with any of that. You
Mhm.
don't have something you learned that made a lot of money. Now I'm gonna, okay, the world changed, but I'm gonna do this again in blue or something. And it doesn't work that way. So that's why you're the future. You see the future, not me. I'm trying to hang on to it.
Funny. It's just really, really funny because, uh, a few years back, we could still have 10 or maybe 20 years, for anything very pivotal to, change all of our lives together. But right now, it's like every month, every year, there's something new. And, the kind of, from my perspective, if I can say for millennials, there is
Right.
always that, pressure or that, anxiety somewhere in my subconscious mind to catch up with it. What if I am getting outdated? What if I'm not, able to understand the next generation? What if I'm going to be completely outdated? So, there's always
You
that.
will be. You will be.
Yeah,
and,
but
and,
I'm
and,
that right
and
now.
it's to live with that. I think what happens as you say that, I think of you're relying on the older generation for guidance. That's your problem. So you're trying because they're saying, "Oh, if you just do these things, life will be great." No, fuck, it won't. No, it won't. So why, they push that in your hand to make your life comfortable. And really, you have to live in chaos because that's what it is. So why train yourself to live in a nice, even life when it's never going to happen? So you have to train yourself to live in chaos. See, the older generation didn't have that. They had boring lives for a long time. And so they didn't have to worry about the chaos. Now you're plopped in the middle of, the whole world changing again. You see the politics in the world. Whew, you know,
Yeah.
so you build up what you think is the best to deal with now, not to try to make the world how you or your parents think it's this way, a different way than it is. So they're trying to fit you into that world that is not there anymore. So you have to trust your heart and learn to live with chaos because that's what it's going to be for some time.
That's a beautiful line. Learn to live with chaos. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought when I thought in starting a business, I got an MBA in business and everything to teach me how to run everything perfectly or whatever. And I'd be in the business every day was just, no, nothing's going perfect. Nobody, yeah, no, that's what they should have taught me, how to run chaos, not how to make things perfect. People aren't perfect. Nothing in the world is perfect. So why are they training me? This is how everything should move. No, how do you live when nothing works smoothly? And train yourself to be that because that's reality.
True. That's true. Let's face it, we have to face it. We cannot just simply run away and expect a cushy life.
That's boring anyway.
That's that's boring. I'll completely agree.
And then you just get in trouble. Your mind will be, well, everything's running nice. Then you worry about every little thing that happens to you. And oh my God, what am I going to do? Now, if the world is all problems, you got to work on those fucking things every day. And that takes uh, the mind away from worrying about every little injustice that's happening to you.
Mhm. True, true. You have sold over 4 million books, build a large community with Lesko help. So it's really an inspiring example for all of us for, of having a lifelong purpose and not just in our 30s or 20s or even 40s or 50s, for long. So what keeps you excited? What's next for you in the world of, the work?
I'm very happy to. I'm happiest now than I've ever been in my life. And I my joke is that if I knew being 81 was going to be this much fun, I would have got here a lot sooner. I don't know why it took me so long to get here. And no, I mean, it'll probably change. I mean, now I help people through this community that I started, letsgohelp.com, and it's $20, and we help each other get grants and money to solve financial problems. So as long as you don't go to Google, you can solve problems in life without money if you don't go to Google. And oh, that's a good headline. See, I'm always thinking of headlines.
Always. Continue.
You, 'cause that's what media is all about. Is how to catch people's attention. Here,
I still say that, Matthew, to be honest, we never even, I never even mentioned the topic, but I think, this is a kind of a unique conversation we really get to do. And, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to have a conversation with you. And, you
it
know,
was
um, just a formality. If our listeners they want to know more about Lesko Help community, explore more about you, how they can do that.
it's letsgohelp.com. That's LESKOHELP.com.
That's so.
And we charge $20, and we also give our own grants too. We give out $70,000 every month to members. That's the profit. When we make profit, we give it back to members. And we're a small business, and so we give it all back to them, and it's $70,000 a month. I never thought I'd be able to do that. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or somebody like that. But no, you could do it. You could keep giving till you die. That's why we're here.
Lovely, lovely. That's such a beautiful quote once again, Matthew. Oh, on the go. Well, listeners, what an incredible journey, what an incredible conversation we have just had with our guest, Matthew Lesko. We never even really touched up upon the topic, but, we got to know much more about Matthew. And, you also, all of you got to know a little more about me as well. And
Right. You get still the job. Yeah, I like that.
and uh, you know, Matthew, your passion for helping people access the resources and also going all guns out at 81 and, having this vibrant personality, it's really inspiring for all of us. After over 4 decades of dedication, you're still making a tremendous impact and really appreciate your enthusiasm and energy.
I don't force anything. I just listen to my heart. Your heart is smarter than your brain.
Oh, wow. That's another good quote. Your heart is smart for your brain. Lovely. Okay, Matthew. Well, to all of our listeners as well, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to us, and to connect with Matthew, do refer to the show notes along with this episode. And remember that there's always help and support out there for those who seek it. So make sure to connect with Matthew. Thank you.